There's two things that I think that is not the base model. First, the Brembo brakes, because I haven't seen any base model in all the Integras with Brembo brakes from factory. Second one is the exhausted, the interior part painted in yellow. Guess like I welcome back to Tony West DIY. My name is Wes, and today's video is completely different of what you guys are used to. This is my first podcast, and I feel like I needed to do this podcast because of what Acura just did. Made a post in Reddit about how I felt, and I received a lot of messages, a lot of comments. I never had a post in Reddit that goes like that, so I needed to make a video. I'll be sharing my opinion, but I won't be alone.
Nobody cares.
I decided to bring two people that have been in the Honda game for a long time. They own Integras before, and they have a lot of knowledge. So without further ado, let's welcome Zach and Ruben. So we have today Mr. Spass Approved from Club RSX. And then we have Mr. Ruben, my boy. So Zach, I decided to invite you to this video because, I don't know, the first time that my wife said to make this podcast about the Integra, I thought about you because you were big in the Honda game. I remember when I first started with my RSX, every time that I was trying to look for something in the forums, I saw a DIY post from you.
I think I ended with a little over 80 DIYs on Club RSX. I think there was like 86 official DIYs, something ridiculous.
Yeah, and it wasn't only Club RSX. I remember, I think Honda Tech, you had several there, and there was another one. Series or
I was a moderator on Honda Tech, on K Series, and on Boosted K20. And then I was also a moderator for Club RSX. So I mean, literally, you saw Spaz Approved across the four biggest K Series forums that I can think of back in the day when people still went online other than Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, I feel like you're my mentor, because since I got my first car, I mean, all my uncles were mechanics, so I grew up in that environment. And after my first car, I started, working at everything, even the sound system. I still remember buying a wiring kit in Pep Boys and then doing my own install. So, but then when I start seeing you, and I wanted to mod the RSX, you were like my mentor, I knew that if I wanted to do something, I just needed to open Club RSX and your posts were gonna be there.
Well, thanks, Tony. I'm glad I could inspire.
You inspire me, yeah. So
as you can see, the inspiration comes from the pictures on the back behind you, Zach. They look amazing.
Yeah, he had the RSX. I think it was called Ivy, if I'm not mistaken,
Ivy.
right?
Yeah. I just literally, we were trying to name her, and we were talking about that new IV Tech engine, and the IV became her name. So Ivy.
That's the thing.
Yeah, Ivy was really just because of IV Tech, and I liked Ivy, and her name was Ivy from there on out.
Yeah, that was an impressive.
Good memory there. Good memory. It's Ivy. Yep.
Yeah. No, my RSX had a Spass Approved sticker.
Yeah. Right there.
There you go.
All right, I'm gonna need one of those stickers.
I'll put one in the mail for you.
All right,
so
there you go.
Just let me know your address. I'll send you a whole bunch of colors too. I still got a bunch left over. We made thousands of those things.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Actually, it was so popular that there was people requesting, his sticker because they needed it in their Honda.
they need on the
Yeah.
build.
It literally got to the point where people PM me just to send them stickers. And I was like, okay. And
Here
we
we go.
sent them out.
Here we go.
We'd go to car shows and I'd lay them out on my on my bumper, and people would take them like business cards. Yeah.
Nice.
So his RSX made it in a couple of magazines as well.
Yeah. So I made obviously my favorite, every kid's dream. I made the cover. There she is of Honda Tuning, and then I got a 6-page feature in that. I also made it in S3 magazine, and then in Sport Modified. So it was
That's
pretty
impressive.
cool.
Those are all the magazines that I had growing up, to include Import Tuner, DC Sport as well.
Yep.
So I actually might, in somewhere around here, may actually have a copy that you have on your wall, actually.
And then we have Ruben. Ruben had a 94 Tech, right?
Yep,
GSR?
94. Yep, 94 Acura Integra was my first car ever, and I picked it up. I had a couple of motors that I had purchased after the vehicle too to try to build. My goal was to have like a LS VTEC setup for my Integra, and also planning to do a turbo setup with that as well. A little bit of backstory for that vehicle. My first car, first project, did a complete black interior swap, did the 2001 Type R front bumpers. I had the Type R side skirts as well, the rear spats and the rear bumper Type R wing. Was not a true Type R, but it was definitely a car that inspired me to be able to have, and try to modify to replicate something that I at the time could not afford. So, and to me, honestly, to each their own. It was my favorite car. I still miss it till this day, and I'm actually, Tony knows, I'm on the hunt. I've been looking to buy another one, hopefully in the future, and then and do it the right way.
I mean, every single time.
Prices are going through the roof.
It's pretty intense right now. Yes.
Every
sure.
single time that I see a Acura, Integra in the marketplace, I share it to him because
Every time I get it. The DM come in really quickly, and then I look at it and I start contemplating and I start thinking, I could probably get one imported from Japan, and that would be cool. But
we
like Zach said,
all feel the same way. The reason why I sold my RSX, it wasn't because I wanted, I don't know, I felt butthurt about that car. I felt sad. I'm not gonna say that I cried, but I was close to. Yeah, you cry too, right?
Guilty as charged. When I watched that thing roll out and drive away, I thought that was the end of the world right there. I bought that new, or really close to new. I had it for, I don't know, 15 years almost. And, that was my build. Most people don't realize, I've been in the game for a long time. I had 4 Accords before that. And the car before that is, I was telling Ruben, I had a 2001 GSR, and I loved it to death. But I parked next to an RSX one day, and I saw that wing, and it looked like it was on my car, and I said, I need an RSX. And I just literally went from one Integra to the new Integra. And, so.
Honestly, taking a look at that and talking about that now, how crazy is it that, it takes that little bit of a feature and aesthetics for you to make that transition to purchasing a car?
One wing made me sell an entire car and start all over. And someday, and I keep telling my wife, I want to build another car here soon. So
that means, I'm assuming, if one wing make you go to another Integra, right? I'm pretty sure the label or the sticker from the new 2023 can make you go to.
Well, let's start with that sticker. That's a good. That's a good place to start. So
I didn't want to start that way, but
If
all
you
right,
put-
let's go.
You know,
if you put that
let's just
car-
dive right in.
if you put that car in front of mine and I saw my wing on that car, I'd still push that car out of the way.
Again, I didn't want to start it this
But
way. I wanted to
let's
build it
go with
up,
that
but
sticker though. Specifically, if Acura rolled that car out and didn't say anything, and they were like, "We're releasing a new car today, and guess what it is?" If that thing didn't say Integra from Pep Boys right on the side of it, not nobody would have known what that was. Nobody.
I still cannot tell what this car is, to
It
be
is-
honest, when I'm looking at all the angles here. And
Nope.
let me tell you, this thing, it looks like not an Integra at all.
It's
All right, let me-
a money saver.
let me because we started, it's just I saw the opportunity to throw out there.
I
But
know.
let's
It's a good opportunity, yes.
the people that is watching us, let's introduce. So the reason why I decided to make this video, and again, all my videos are only DIYs. I never done a podcast. Was because after the, how can I describe it? Acura reveal, right? I felt, I don't know, I felt disappointed.
Left out.
Yeah, because I saw the RSX. I kind of bought her, like as mentioned before. So when I first saw the first teaser, which it was the headlight, and you can see the grill or whatever, I got excited. I showed it to my wife, and my wife said, "Oh, damn, you're so excited that you might sell your CTS and then go back to the Honda game." I'm like, you might be right.
You might be right.
Yeah,
So I'll tell you what, there was a lot of rumor flying because I talked about that for days. And then everyone's like, "Oh, snap." And I got some messages like, "Oh, if the Integra comes out, I can't wait to see what you do with it." And yeah, that headlight, that got me super excited.
yeah.
You know,
And
I want to chime in on that too real quick, because I
Mhm.
think I had about 15 different people send me the concept image, and I believe it was the white one, if we're discussing the same one, right? The
Doesn't
little
that like
ant, you can
almost
see
look like a cartoon drawing? The
yes,
cool.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I mean,
Street
I
art.
can, if I were able to share my screen, I can show you how many people sent me the picture and all the stuff, and how, I mean, it was, people knew, you know, my first car
Sure.
being the Integra, you know, me starting out in the Honda game, like everybody knew how much I love that car, that I'm getting DMs left and right on this new vehicle. And then I don't know. And then looking at it now, that is not the same picture
yeah,
that
so
we saw in concept.
after
So,
the
yeah, we
teaser,
Yeah, we got several teasers. They teased us for a while, and they did good. So we got that front headlight, and then they showed us like it looked like a hatchback. Right?
Correct.
Was
The
it the
rear
rear,
end, yeah.
that they came
With
out
the-
with next?
With a wing, right?
Yeah.
It had a wing on it,
Yeah.
right?
it-
Yeah.
On the
it-
No,
concept
I think
one?
it was just a tail light and a little bit of a
correct.
hatch.
The taillights and a little
Okay.
bit of the bumper and
Gotcha.
and the trunk, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't remember the guy's name, I apologize. But whenever I edit the video, I will add your Instagram. It went viral. The renders that Ruben just mentioned. So I got really hyped. I was like, holy cow. So I started reading a little bit more because Acura started sending a little bit of articles, a little bit of information. And then I knew that wasn't going to be a retro body style like, you know, the Mustang
I
did,
didn't-
Camaro did. Huh?
Yeah, I didn't see a lot of that. See, I still had
Oh, you
thoughts
had
and
that.
hopes. I had thoughts and hopes pretty much to the end that they were bringing back an Integra.
Right.
Damn.
I knew nothing like you're saying right now of that it wasn't going to be an Integra or however you thought you read it, because you know, with all the teasers and then you know the great marketing they did, I was like, yeah, they're going to bring out something that's, if the Civic Type R blew your mind, this Integra is going to blow it even better.
Yeah.
Yep. I think I read that article in Motor Trend.
Motor Trend, yep.
And yeah, and they said, you know, that was gonna be the Integra was gonna replace the ILX, and they're gonna use that base from the ILX to come up with the Integra. So they even had an artist that showed some render in the same article, utilizing the ILX as the core design.
The base of it, yeah.
Correct, but it looked completely different of what Acura just showed to us. And when I saw that thing, and again that thing, because it's like I think Zach mentioned before, if without the label, it's just another Acura car.
I think yeah, 100%. So that car came out and it looks like a new Acura. It looks like it blends right in to the Acura family that's out there, which it's a nice car probably. Actually, I still think the front bumper is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. It makes zero sense aesthetically to me, but it really does look like a baby prototype ILX, not even an Integra. And you can totally tell that where the first mistake is if you're going to bring a car back from the dead, you can't use parts from cars that exist right now that have zero to do with what that car's history is. You know, you got to start back over and take the risk. And they didn't take the risk.
I got disappointed. I went and posted it in my social media accounts because it was an Instagram only. And then I went to Reddit and put a post there. And I created a mess. I'm going to post a screenshot of the amount of comments, amount of, I think it's points. It's like comparing with Facebook likes, but it's just like an arrow up. If people like the post, they put the arrow up. If not, arrow down. So it had like over 1,400 or 1,300. So whenever I edit the video, I post it. But my cell phone notification was like, they didn't stop. They didn't stop, and they start comment. And a lot of people, you know, hated it. But then I start having people that like the design and saying why I'm hating it. And I'm gonna.
They were asking why you didn't like it on Reddit.
Yeah.
So,
do you have any of the comments of what people said when they did like it?
Yeah, I'm gonna look them right now.
So while you're looking that up, I'm scrolling through the Reddit site link that you sent me with your post.
Yeah.
All I see is SUV, crossovers, SUV, high difference, like.
It looks like a leftover Honda crossover got a baby with a new Civic.
Yeah, well, yeah, the new Civic as well. That's another podcast.
Honda. Yeah,
because that Civic.
Yep. It's not a great look. The 5-door hatch, you know, and that's, I don't know where you want to go with this, so I don't want to go too far on anybody. But yeah, I guess as far as your Reddit people, you know, I guess you got two categories of people. You got kids of today who've never been in the game.
That's
and
true.
They don't know what history means because, well, you know how kids are today. We don't want to talk about history anymore. And then you got the people like us who've put in hours and hours and hours of work on an actual Integra and have been in the scene and have lived that life. And I'll say that life because, you know, we all know it's a totally different scenario when you're with your car buddies and you're out in the scene and you're out in a garage, you know, versus hey, I'm going to go with my mom and we're going to go buy a new car. Ooh, look at this pretty new Acura in the lot. You know, so I can see why people would say they do like it if they're just into buying a new car. Yep, look, it's shiny. It's a shiny new penny.
Yeah.
But-
So it's supposed to be the Phoenix yellow, or is it supposed to be yellow?
No,
Did they even say that?
It did say, I found it. It's an NSX yellow variant.
Correct. I think in the Acura's news.
Yep, they said it in their
website.
news. I think on their Instagram they actually labeled it. It was based off of an NSX yellow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that, you're keeping it in the family. That's at least okay. But I mean, the fact that, there's articles out there saying that they're trying to retain the heritage of the vehicle and that you can't even put the right color on it.
We're definitely going to talk about that.
Yeah.
So in Reddit, there's a guy here. This one didn't stated facts, but he said, I like it overall. I wish they use some of the originals front end design to help separate it from the rest of Acura lineup.
Yeah, see,
100%.
so he's still not even in love with it.
Yeah,
Correct.
I mean, he's still saying it needs work. As nice as he wanted to be, he was a nice guy.
Right.
I'm not as nice about it. I'm very open about the fact that I hate the new Integra.
Yeah.
So this is a lot of comments. I think I have even more comments because I can't even find. Oh, there you go. What's there to be disappointed about? No manufacturers gained anything from making cars no one wants to buy. As an enthusiast and a Honda lover, will a new two-door Integra like the OG Integras be awesome? Sure.
Yes.
But if there was any indication that the car will actually sell in the current market, Honda wouldn't have gotten rid of the two-door Civic from its lineup entirely, including the fact that they're making the SI sedan only. I personally glad they're even making this car in the first place. They could have easily stuck with the SI and Type R and not offer anything of the sort of from Acura.
But there lies another problem. So, I mean, I've never owned the Civic side ever. I've always been on the Acura side. But even when I own my Accord, okay, and even from today, the Accord is still available in a two-door. The Accord has always been available in a 2 or a 4, okay?
Right.
The Integra has technically had a 4-door version, but that's not what anyone's ever really been about. And there are people that are all about the 4-door Teggy, right? But that car has always been known as the 2-door coupe. Whereas the Civic, I've always seen the Civic go both ways. I've seen some sexy as hell 4-door Civics, and then I've seen sexy as hell 2-door Civics. I mean, I'm more prone to seeing 4-door versions of Civics, because was the Mugen SI a 4-door when that came out? The blue one?
I believe the Mugen was actually.
And that one was like, I think it, I don't know, but I mean, it's just, I'm more used to seeing 4-doors in a Civic version than I am Integras. Integra, it's like, hey, this is a coupe. We got a 4-door option. Make it an option, you know?
Right.
Okay, but if that's the case, that coupes don't sell, why you have a 400C? Why you have? I mean, there's.
They still got the AE86, or now it's called the what did we say? RG86 is it now?
RG, I believe you were saying, yes. I believe so.
Yep. And then Supra came out with a new coupe too. I mean, that's in a different class, but it's not really compared to the Type R, Civic Type R. So, I mean, you got all these cars that are coming back with a classic coupe.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of part of the issue is that they're trying to rebrand the cars using the old names because it's what people grew up with. So it's a marketing thing, in my opinion. But like the new
Because
cars
now
that
they
you're
can afford
you're producing and you're putting out there, right? You're slapping the Integra name on it, you're slapping the Supra name on it, and then you're doing the A86 one and all these other names to cars, but their rendering and everything is newer. But the difference is that like that's not necessarily what we're after here. Like we understand that times change and technologies change and the cars change and yeah, a car can have a brand new look and still retain its value. I think the problem is that they're saying that this particular vehicle is supposed to carry over from 1986 until now, and we're looking at these things and then like, what exactly would you even consider to be that? Like you're not showing me that. Like it's almost like we just got lied to, in my opinion. But
Well, I think they missed the mark on that because I don't see a single characteristic marking
There you go.
except
about to say that.
except for the bumpers. And that's it. And that actually feels more like an insult to injury than anything else at this case. I mean, again, if you peel that sticker off, there's nothing that screams Integra about it. The body lines are all wrong. They're all new age style, which they could be new age style and they could still work, but they didn't make it work. But the only thing that is Integra on it is the Integra indentations in the bumper.
In the bumper. I agree. And I was about to say, I remember when I was a kid, even without knowing about cars, I still remember the DA when I first saw it. And when I first saw that car, I was like it caught my attention. It was pop-ups, it was like a sporty type Integra. And then, after that, the rest is history. I mean, you got you had the second gen, which it looks aggressive, that long headlamps. And even you still see the Integra, and even with the DC5 where they try to change the freaking name, and you still can see an Integra type.
Yeah, you're not kidding anybody, Acura. That's where marketing comes into play. And the RSX, they were just trying to get more sales, so they changed the name. But again, anywhere else in the world, it was still the Integra. Even the body chassis number was still a DC. I understand the whole trying to make sales, but at least when they started with, and that's a great example actually that we had talked about, is that when the Integra was dying and they went to this new RSX, it was a completely new platform. You went from a B series to a K series, and you went from this mild to this real wild and sharper looking car. But you know what? Everything still screamed Integra.
Exactly.
The 2000s had those double round headlights and the 94s. And then the first RSX kept that bubble headlight
the bumper,
to represent that, and
the
then
resemblance was there, absolutely.
And then they straightened that out, but it still looked like Integra.
Yep.
Even though it was a brand new everything, new chassis, new suspension. They went to the McPherson struts and from double wishbone. Everything got changed, but it was still the heart of an Integra. Even if they changed the name, it was still an Integra.
Yep.
Now they're just, hey guys, what can we do with this leftover stuff? The ILX is dying.
Yep.
I got an idea.
I saw a Type S ILX, and I had to look at it. So, and again, going back to the render that Motor Trend did, or the artist that they had, I sent you guys the pictures, and if you see it, they did it a coupe, which it kind of make it look more aggressive, but it still look better than what Acura showed to us.
I'm gonna pull it up right now so I can keep it up here so I can be able to see it.
Now, which one are you talking about?
You're talking about the gold one, right?
Correct. That one.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
that should have been what the Type
That's
R.
all you have to say. You got my attention. I don't even need to look it up. I know what you're talking about, man. I totally was right there. Look, my face looked up. That's what the new Integra should have done too.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what it should have done.
And
Absolutely agree.
There's another comment from Reddit. I can't find it now, but I remember it just because the guy saying, "Oh, why you're hating it? I'm pretty sure this is the base model. If the Type S,
worse.
huh?
That's even worse.
If the Type S and Type R will come, it will look completely different." And I responded to him, "Come on, the C2, what was the only difference from the Type R and the LS or the base model? I remember the wheels were 5 locks.
5 locks?
Yeah.
Yep.
The spoiler and the lead kit, if I'm not mistaken. That's it.
Well, the interior also, there was some bits of
exterior?
No, I'm talking about exterior because I'm trying to stay with facts, and Acura hasn't revealed the interiors, right?
Exterior-wise, it really had like a full lip kit.
Yep.
It was a little bit lower. It had the 5 log wheels, nicer brakes, and a spoiler.
Right.
It had all performance and aesthetic upgrades that were attainable by anyone that owned an Integra to buy.
Yep,
But it was still the same car. Like, you couldn't tell the difference.
The fenders are the same.
Make a four-man Type R all day long.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, what I was trying to say, like, I can't see the new design.
If I slap a spoiler and a lip kit on this, it's still ugly. It's just lipstick on a pig at that point. It's lipstick on a pig. And I live in Wisconsin. I know what lipstick on a pig is. Okay. All right. You come hang out up here, with us farm boys. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't even think the design of this hatch could put a spoiler on there and not look stupid. It's just so bubbly when it comes. It's so much fail. And I think for me, especially like the front bumper, the yellow only comes to like the front, and then it goes into the grill. It just looks so incomplete.
Oh, yeah.
It's just got a weird mouth, and then it's like a smiley face with the fog lights that I don't know what those vents are for, because the fogs are this part, but it goes back. I just
the smile is like an L shape type.
It's like if the Joker cut a face into the car.
That's what I was just thinking, actually. Now that you mentioned it, I was thinking, man, I wonder if he's going for the Joker look, because in reality, it actually does resemble that. But with a very straight type of smile. Yeah, I'm with you. Does anybody see this car and think that it would? What's the other Acura that we discussed that it looked like the TL? Was that what the one was?
The Contour? Cross Tour?
No, I can't think of it on top of my head now. But it was like this. It was the Acura TL, I believe it was actually.
I don't think it looks anything like the TL.
Well, I mean,
if you see the TL, the 2021, I think it is. I think I sent you guys the pictures as well.
I'm talking like a 2012, like 2014. Like, I feel like this body style, it's almost like I'm trying to figure out how to articulate this. Like, I feel like the new TL or the older TL could be the new TL for that. Is my point. It almost feels like the body lines and everything almost fit that model.
Sure,
and maybe it's the TL. I think it is a TL. It's like the luxury version, not the TSX. It was like the luxury version. Right?
The TL, I'll tell you what though, man, when that TL came out with the V6 and they came with a manual, oh my God, that was
cool, right?
My budget range though at the time.
So imagine if we're having this conversation, right? And then we're talking about the new TL that just released or is about to release.
But
that would be a cool car.
That's pretty much, I really feel like this conversation, if if they wouldn't have put the Integra name on there, it'd just be, did you see the new Acura? The new lineup of Acuras?
Right.
Oh,
Leave it blank.
man.
Yeah, basically.
That's
Yeah.
what this is.
But let's use the TLX now as an
TLX.
example. The 2021 looks a lot more aggressive than the
It should
Integra.
have been the Type R, in my opinion.
I test drove that A-Spec one that came out, and
Mhm.
I'm in love. It's got the V6 twin scroll turbo. I'm
Right.
in love. I'd kill for that car.
But do you
I
guys
just
feel
got a
like
bigger-
Acura kind of missed the flight on that though? That TL should have been the Type R this year. I'm sorry. That the TL of the new one that you're discussing right now, they should have released that as a Type R, and then that may have been something a little bit in different conversation because it looks sharper, it looks aggressive, right? Yeah, it's still 4 doors and everything, but still, it looks
But
wide.
I know it's going to be a 4-door. In that big car, you're comfortable with a 4-door.
Of course.
You know.
But
Again, yeah. I think
that's why I mentioned the TLX. Like why then bringing the Integra if the Integra is gonna be the not the sporty version, you know, if it's the luxury or looks like it.
Right.
So
why, you know?
Here's what I would say, going all the way back to how this started. If Acura is gonna tease us, which I'll tell you what, everyone on their marketing team needs a raise because they hyped this up and it was amazing. But then it got revealed, and everyone on the design team needs to be kicked in the nuts.
Both Cleveland and Lorraine.
But what I'm saying though is, when you said a minute ago that, well, this is just the base model. Well, why in God's name are you putting this fucking base model out on display for the very first time then? Give us what we want and then show us what the crapper options are later. Show us why we should be buying this car, because it's badass and it's new and it's back out and we brought out the Heritage. Oh, but here's our base model with the smallest engine that's ever been in an Integra.
Oh,
you know, I mean,
hurts. That hurts.
I mean, look, the PA back in the day, they've been a 1.8 forever. There was a 1.7. And that was I think that's the smallest Integra engine in the history, right? A 1.7.
Right.
1.7. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then a 1.8, and then a 2-liter, but that's it. It's always been a nicer engine. It's been a big engine for a Honda. Right. That's a big engine, right? Right. But now you're like, oh, we had these leftover 1.5s from the Civic, but that's okay. This is just the base model we're sending you.
Yeah, but
who else did that? Ford did that. They did that with the Bronco, right? They released the Bronco as like the base model Bronco that resembles to me a lot that the Jeep Patriot, I believe, is the.
It looks ugly. That's all I can say.
I was super surprised when they first released it, and because the hype was there, right? The same scenario, same situation. The hype was there. These people were, oh man, this Bronco's coming back and it's going to be amazing and blah blah blah. And when you see that thing driving down the street, you're like, I'm taller than that vehicle. Like, what is that? Right? And I'm not that tall. Now, the new Bronco, the V2 version, that's what I feel like they should have released in the first place. I'm not sure if Acura took a page off of Ford's book in this particular situation, because it seems like they did. I'm excited to see what the V2 version of this car would be, in hopes that it will actually resemble something that we would be interested in.
I just feel now, knowing that that's a base model, I feel like that's almost just as bad that they're releasing that as a 1.5 turbo leftover Civic. At least bump it to like a 1.6 turbo, or do something different than what the SI is, because in the history of Honda and Acura, right? Acura's always been the big brother to Hondas. So, like, if we got a 1.8, they got a 1.6. You know, it's just.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Even for a base model, it's just kind of insulting to know that that big, heavy car is not going to beat a Civic.
there's two reasons why I think, I mean, it's my personal opinion. I'm pretty sure people disagree, but there's two things that I think that is not the base model. First, the Brembo brakes, because I haven't seen any base model in all the Integras with Brembo brakes from factory.
That's
The
a nice
second-
observation. I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
I see
the
what you're saying.
second one is the exhaust tip, the interior part painted in yellow. My bad. I saw
You know, you're not wrong on that one either.
You know what I mean? I never seen a base model. You know,
JM as fuck, yo.
you know, so
Okay. So got an upgraded muffler tip in NSX yellow. Good. And matching brakes. Good.
yeah, but
That's,
going through the
yeah.
same route that you mentioned, because there was another comment saying, "Oh, but that's on batch Civic and the Integra has always been like that." Let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
Yes, probably this is the same chassis because with the EP3 electric power steering, for example, you know, it was from Civic. It was able to be installed in the RSX, and there's a lot like the sleeve.
EP3 and RSX. Yeah, the Civic EP3 and the RSX. Now the EP3 was a special Civic. Let's just call it the special Civic, right? But either way, they had so many parts that were just hand in hand. You're just swappable, you know. I stole some parts off of an EP3 all day. Yeah, you just had it. The suspension. So you switch out the power steering rack. You got yourself an electronic power steering rack, but
Right.
and then, you know, push button starts, switch back and forth, and seats could go back and forth. But other than that, I mean,
But
that Honda Civic was a Honda Civic EP3, and it looked like an EP3.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Nothing
So
like an RSX.
you always were able to identify the Integra separately from a Civic.
Correct.
Quickly, quick and easy.
Yeah, it had that peculiar or
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
distinction that it was Integra separated from a Civic. I understand that Honda and Acura, it's like Ford, Lincoln, Nissan.
Acura is like the Infinity of Nissan, the
Infinity.
DFC of Chevy.
Correct. But Integra has always had, you know, different style from the Civic.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
And even the engine, now that, you know, because you talk about it, so
Let's talk about it.
it's going to be the 1.5 liter, 200 horsepower. People were talking about, but the K20 came with 200 horsepower. But this car looks like, and again, assumptions. This is assumption because it hasn't been put out. But the core weight of this thing, it looks like a cross tour, I think it is. 2015.
Yeah, the Honda, that's the picture that I posted. I posted a picture of the two right next to each other, and they are. If you didn't have a label on that car, you would think that could have been a new Honda crossover.
Yeah, 100%. Yep,
So
I agree.
apparently,
You know what? That's, you know, the curb weight is what's going to kill it with a 1.5 turbo. Looking at this car, you can't tell me that you thought about the history of the Integra because it's a nimble, lightweight coupe. And yet the Acura Integra was always heavier than like a base Civic or anything else because it had the leather and whatnot. But it was still known because, I mean, you could gut that sucker and it's going to be light, and that's what you did. You gutted that sucker out and it was nimble, right? Now,
Yep.
coming from that, I've been in both the GSR and then the RSX, and then my RSX was a 2-liter. I blew it up. I did a 2.4-liter swap. Then I did a supercharged swap. Then I did the turbo swap, right? So, I mean, anyone that's ever asked me, and I have told, I can't even tell you, it's probably, if not over 1,000, it's probably in the thousands of people in my time from Club RSX that asked me about the K24 swap. And I will always tell you, without a doubt, the 2.4-liter K24 should have came in the RSX from the factory because the RSX is a heavy pig.
Now that you mentioned that, I remember that was one of the hate from the people when the RSX came out. And again, I understand, there's always hate. People hate changes. The same happened with the Supra. Even the 400Z that I thought that came out great. I saw a lot of hate. I saw a lot of memes.
Yeah, Nissan
said
said
about
on
that
that one
one.
though. Like they kept a lot of the body lines and aesthetics on that Z original, and that's essentially what the main part of
It
this
is
group is.
100% new age modern classic rebrought.
100%. Yeah. And what is it? The Camaro, same thing. They rendered it to a more advanced version of an old car. That's great. Like what is Acura doing here? What are they doing?
But I think before we get too far on that, I think knowing that it's 2022, or that's going to come out in 23. We've got all these new regulations.
Right.
You've got to have 1 million airbags, and now it's a 4-door, so they're going to put airbags in the rear.
Everywhere.
They're going to put them everywhere. You're going to have an airbag to go off for your airbag in case your airbag doesn't have, But you're just adding all these electronics, all this stuff, and a 1.5 turbo is it's never going to be enough for a car that size if you want a sporty car like an Integra.
Right. So let's talk about that for a second, because we're looking at this new vehicle and it looks like the ILX, right? We can agree on that. It also looks like it has a really big wheelbase on it. So, and then a lot of people in the Reddit comments are saying, "Wow, this is a nice crossover," with joking, but what is Acura targeting here at this point? What are they looking at let's take a step back. The 1.5 turbo, right? Is it more fuel efficient?
Boring.
So are they going for that? They want to save on being efficient. Are they targeting not necessarily our group that we love? Like, for example, with your vehicles and my vehicle, we always modified things and changed things and made it really bad on gas, but made it really fun.
How dare you?
But for this one, are they targeting older generation for comfort?
No, I don't think so.
So that's part of I think that's where one of the big problems are. So it's like me and all my past relationships, from what my girlfriends have told me. I say all these things that I'm gonna do, and then I never do them, right? They came out and told us we're gonna build it based on history, and we thought about the enthusiast, and I'm not getting any younger. I'm 38 now, and I'll say that, and I don't want to say it. That sucks, right? But the Civic Type R, let's compare the Civic Type R. No 18-year-old or 16-year-old is going to be buying a $50,000 Civic Type R.
100%.
It's not going to happen. So when you're coming out with a new classic Integra, you damn well know that the age group that used to drive the Integra is now our age group.
Correct.
This was going to be, and I told my wife, this was going to be my midlife crisis car.
Yep.
I live in a failed GM town, so it's always Corvette. Me, I'm like, hell yeah, the Integra. Yep. And now I can afford the new one. And I want to buy the best of the best because that's what I like to do, right? But
Yep.
you come out with this, and that's where I have so much trouble with it. It's just the age group that they're going for. I don't think they figure at all. I don't think they got it right at all. They're
I
saying,
agree.
hey, you guys that used to drive these, you're going to love it. We're bringing it back. And you're the only ones that can afford it now. But you're used to what you had, and it's not pleasing to you. And that's who's going to be buying it. To be honest, we're all the guys that are excited for the Integra that can afford it now.
That's why I said probably it's not all people, because I pull out even the people that is watching this podcast can go to acuranews.com if you guys want to follow. I'll post the link down below in the description. So this is why I got so pissed, or not pissed, because I mean, I don't care, but disappointed because I thought to buy it. I'll be honest. And now it's like Zach says, I can't afford it now, right? So this is how they start the article. It says,
I can't afford it.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's the younger kids that can't afford it. Yeah, I mean, look at the Civic. When that came out, the Civic Type R, all the markup in the price, it was a $50,000 Civic.
Yeah.
I've never spent more than $5,000 on a Honda, well, except for when I bought the RSX brand new. And even then, I think it was, oh man, what was it? It was like $20,000. So for this to come out and be base priced at 30, we ain't talking about, new age kids that are just getting into the tuner scene. They're buying this Integra because it's sure shit ain't sporty and cool looking compared to, I'd rather spend $6,000 and still buy an actual Integra, a DC2 all day long. If we're going to call this an Integra, I'd still rather put up with an old Integra.
Yeah, speaking of heritage, all of the older cars are actually becoming more and more expensive now.
Yeah, it's just killing. Yeah,
that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think they missed it everywhere. I think they missed their marketing on what range of people would be buying this car. I think they missed that completely, along with obviously the design, because it's just it's a confusing ball everywhere you look at it. The only thing that's not confusing is the statement that you should find that statement again. I just want to hear you read that.
Check this out. Inspired by, what's that?
But do it in a serious, straight face. Like, we know you're not full of shit.
Straight face. It hurts. It hurts to read it. I'm sorry. It hurts me.
Listen, Zach. No pressure. I barely can express myself in English. Like, I'm gonna try to read it, but that's gonna be my 100% trying. Okay. You know what I mean? So if you're trying to, I can act like this is the accent.
Well, you got this.
Okay.
Sell me this car with this phrase here.
All right. Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh.
Okay, I won't look.
Yeah. Inspired by past Integras, including the original that helped launch the Acura brand in 1986. The 2020, don't laugh. The 2023 Integra will become the new gateway performance model in the Acura lineup. A premium sport back with an evocative,
what did you say?
5-door design and fun to drive spirit. Check this out.
So even in that phrase right there, you can already disagree with most of those key points. So
100%.
I mean, right off the bat, they tell you you're screwed, and it says 5 doors, no option for a 3-door. So there goes that nice, sporty, okay, and then fun to drive. But what was the thing about the newest power line in the Acura lineup? Say that again. Something about
the 2023 Integra will become the new gateway performance model in the Acura lineup.
Okay, so how with a 1.5 turbo when we just literally said there's a V6 twin scroll turbocharged car out there in the Acura lineup. What's the next smallest? In all honesty, we'd have to look this up. I have no idea. But whatever the next car up is, what is the smallest engine and power that they make in that Acura? You know, what did the ILX have compared to that? It's just, I can't imagine the 1.5 turbo being anywhere relatively good in the Acura community, you know, car lineup. That just, that whole statement is beautiful if you don't look at that car.
We talked about it earlier. You know, even you can identify the Integra versus the Civic by look. The engine was always more powerful than the Civic. And also, I think the Civic Si, which is this engine that it comes, I think it's like $28,000, and then this is gonna have a base price
30,000.
30, correct.
And then there's going to be dealership markup right off the bat.
Yeah, there's no bang for your buck in this situation.
No, like you're technically buying.
Unless it comes with those painted exhaust tips, boy.
And the sticker. You forgot about that.
Well, yeah, but if it didn't get that, just head on down to Pep Boys. Get yourself an Integra.
Check this, the second paragraph. The Integra is one of the most iconic models in Acura's history, said John Ikeda, Vice President and Acura Brand Officer. This new Integra will continue to deliver on the original's unique, aspirational, yet attainable market position with emotional performance and style, combined with the versatility and utility sought after by today's buyer.
If you put a picture of a championship white 96 ITR, and you put a picture of a 96 ITR, I guarantee you pretty much everyone, and I don't care if you're a Ford fan, you're a Chevy fan, I bet you 95% of the people know exactly what that is. Okay? That is what it should be based off of, the legend, because it had a hand-built 1.8 from Japan. It was hand-assembled. They hand-bored it. They did all the port and polishing to the head. I mean, we weren't stealing any engines. We were buying engines from every Type R you could get your hands on to swap it in everything, you know? Right. And it was also, don't get me wrong, because I don't think I'm wrong, at the time, and still today, it was one of the highest horsepower to liter engine ever made. Like, yeah, mm-hmm. and then here comes the K20.
For that class, yeah. For that class.
And then even when they switched the K series, that 2-liter was still the highest horsepower per cylinder kind of, you know, deal. I mean, that's big deal. That's a big deal. If you're going to come out with this Integra and you're going to bring back the name, I want a new engine just like when they released the Civic Type R. I want like, hey, check this shit out. Ain't no one got blammo, you know?
Yep.
Put the 2.4 supercharged in it, or something better than a 1.5 turbo from a freaking SI.
Oh, I agree 100%. I mean, you guys can agree with me, right? Like, that car looks heavy. We don't know the specs yet, right? So we can't really speak on that. But just look by looks only.
Ruben, what's your guess? I want to hear a guess from you, and then we'll look it up when it comes out.
Man, I don't know.
I mean,
what's the ILX
if I use the Cross Tour,
I think my RSX was like 3275.
The ILX. What was the? You said they discontinued the ILX to bring out the Integra. What was the weight on the ILX? Do we know?
Okay, let me check that real quick.
Because I have a feeling that it's going to be right around that.
This Integra prototype looks like one of the original drawings from an ILX that didn't make it.
Oh.
Hey, do you guys still have those leftover drawings? Check this out. Integra. It'll sell. I promise.
100%. Actually, check this out. The ILX, The 2021 Acura
34
RLX.
and
It
60.
says that the weight is 3,144 pounds.
Okay.
So I'm assuming the RSX was heavier?
The RSX?
Yeah, because the
Yeah,
RSX was heavier than that.
Yeah,
Oh,
were
look
they
it
like
up.
37 or 35 or something like that?
Something
I
like
thought it was
that.
like 3,200.
32 maybe? That makes more sense.
No, I think
I thought
it
it was a pretty
was.
big girl. Look up
Yeah,
what
let's
a
look it up.
DC2.
Yeah, the
Look up a
DC2.
DC2 and a DC5.
There you go.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. So the 2006 Acura Type S is 2,840.
Okay, 28. Okay.
2,800. Okay. So
28.
2,800
So,
pounds.
and
I
then
don't know
let's
what I was
go
thinking.
to.
That's still, 300 pounds lighter. So
With a,
I'm
with a
guessing
bigger engine.
this new prototype, probably still in the 32 end, maybe. I don't know.
I was gonna guess right around that, probably 32.
Well, you have it's a 5-door, so you have the gate, the tailgate.
Yeah,
So
33.
that should be a little bit heavier. But
I mean,
I mean,
it's just
4 doors
the,
on it. You have also 4 doors on it.
correct. But the ILX is a sedan, so
Yeah.
But that's, I think, going with the 4-door, I think right off the bat, if Acura is not going to come out with a 2-door with a 4-door option, just count me out, because I'd buy it as a fun car. I have a man van now, which doesn't please a lot of Honda folk that I switched to the Dodge side, but I bought a Dodge Durango because I have 2 beautiful little girls, and they will never be late to soccer practice because Dad likes a heavy foot and a Hemi. But when this got released, I already said earlier in the podcast, I have been looking to get back in the game.
100%. Yep.
If this came out, I would be right there. I'd be first in line, but it's got to be a coupe, and it's got to be the top of the line. It's got to be badass. I want the best of the best.
Yep.
And to call this an Integra on only a 4-door, I'm already out. I would rather than go look at the new Supra, which one of my good friends just picked up, and it's badass. I've actually liked it because I'm also my mom owns several BMWs. I've loved BMWs, and I know that's a big argument. We won't even get into that.
Maybe another podcast.
But I like the Supra. I think it's pretty neat for what it is. But I think if I did something, I do truly want something sporty because I drive a man van for a daily.
Right.
And this is not a sporty. It doesn't even look sporty to me in the first place. And it's got too many doors. Even with my girls, I'd rather have the challenge of trying to cram them into the back seat because I wanted to take the cool car versus, hey, get in the saloon. Let's go. Get in the 4-door. Oh, sorry. Get in the 5-door. It's even bigger.
even better.
We can fit my mother-in-law in the back. I'm just kidding.
Watch out. You're going to see a chancla flying and hitting your face.
Dale!
But it's just, if I get back in the scene, because I had so many people writing me. I even had a couple people write me and go, I'm excited to see what you would do with this car, because when those teasers came out, I said, I'm in.
Yep. We were ready.
And then we saw some of the prototype renderings, which obviously they're never going to be right.
Right.
But then this came out. Now, it's just I'm out. Even if they made an A-spec version, from what I see right now, I'm definitely not coming back in. And the fact that they never even whispered 2-door anywhere in there, or sorry, 3-door anywhere in there. I just,
is there an opportunity? Is there
if
a
I
wishful
went back
thinking?
in, it's because this is going to be my fun adult midlife crisis car.
Right.
And this is not, they're not bringing anything that I would want to own. So they've already lost a sale to me by telling me what I want to hear, but showing me, it's like going to buy an Evo 10 and then you get there and it's the Lancer. It's just a regular old, and you're like,
I mean,
it's not the same at all.
it's true.
I agree.
The only thing that there is a saving grace though. I don't know if you saw it, Ruben. Did you see it? What was the key element in this reveal?
The stamped bumpers. Maybe with the Integra.
The
Is
exhaust.
that what we're talking about?
No, above it on the back of the wall when it said Integra.
Oh, the wing.
No,
Are we talking about the wing?
no, on the reveal.
Oh, I gotta go back to the pictures.
Prototype.
Oh, yes, it does. It still does on the license plate, right? On the back.
What's that mean to you guys?
Wishful thinking.
I mean, I'll be honest. If you guys see,
Don't lie to me, Tony.
I'm gonna put it. Whenever I edit the video, I'm gonna put the Supra prototype. I think it was called the
FK something. FKL. MKL.
Yeah, that car looks amazing. And then there was even memes when the new Supra reveal was comparing expectations and what you get, because people were making fun of the
like
new.
the memes I posted with Jason Momoa versus
Yeah. So I'm gonna post this picture. I'm gonna put it here whenever I edit the video. And actually, let me see if I can. It's the FT-1 concept, to see if I can share it with you guys.
I know which one you're talking about.
That was apparently the Supra was gonna be out, and it didn't happen. So what I'm trying to say is that even the Subaru, a lot of people got. I don't follow Subaru, but I follow the social media accounts.
Oh, the new Subaru just pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah, the same
It was
thing.
one of those. My favorite was though. It was a picture of the Subaru, and they're like, "Oh, you couldn't possibly do any worse." And then it was Honda saying, "Here you go, hold my beer."
Oh my God.
and then there's the Integra.
No.
But before you leave with that, though, I mean, how far along do you think this prototype? Do you think they just left the word prototype, or do you think? What do you think?
My personal opinion.
I hope. Yeah, go, Ruben, go.
Okay, sorry. My personal opinion, I mean, again, that goes back to the wishful thinking, right? Like we hope that this could be still something like they're going to see the podcast, they're going to see everyone's likes versus dislikes on their right on their YouTubes, or they're going to see what the people think of this release, right? This debut. Now, I'm hoping that they'll take all of this criticism and then they can basically take a step back for themselves and be like, you know what, we still had a prototype out there. This was a prototype. Version 2 is coming. Stand by. You know what I mean? Like let's see how it goes. I truly do hope, and I posted this on Acura's YouTube on the reveal, but I truly hope that, in all honesty, that they look at all the comments, and it's thousands of comments, and it really is like trying to find gold for a comment that's not negative right now. So, if they took all the comments across all of the platforms, I'm talking, Twitters and Instagrams and Facebook and YouTube. I mean, take all those comments and let them read it. I mean, if I was the boss, I'd be printing off this gnarly list that looks like Santa's, naughty list and good list. And you keep starting from the beginning, and I want you to read comments for your entire 8-hour shift. Right.
And I want you to think about it, and I want that to soak in. I mean, I want like a nasty, that's mean. I really want them to hear the voice of the people and then say, you know what? Let's just apologize. Let's take a step back, and let's say, you know what? We're going to do better.
You can do it.
Let's try again. Yeah.
Sega the Hedgehog came out, and no one liked how the Hedgehog looked or Sonic the Hedgehog from Sega, and no one liked it. And Sonic went, "Ooh, shit, my bad. Hold on a second. Let me try this again."
The whole movie for what?
They redid the whole movie because everyone hated the character, and that's the whole thing. You brought us a car, and everyone hates it. Can you really still put it out there? Could you in good consciousness, as a leader for Acura, see all of this negative and be like, yeah, we're still going to release it. There you go.
Again, so let's just say this then. Let's wishful thinking. Let's hope that license plate that still maintains prototype on there, that holds true to what we're looking at now. So Tony, your opinion.
Again, usually prototypes change to the worst. That's my opinion. But I want to be like you guys. I want to be positive and think that the CEO and the design team is gonna see this podcast because it's gonna go viral, and not just hear us, right? Because I wanted to express, my opinion, and that's why I wanted to approach you guys. But I wanted to base it in facts because I know that a lot of people always hate on any car that comes. They did it even with the Corvette, which I think it looks amazing. But it's not just us. If you go to the Acura YouTube channel, you can see, this was, I haven't refreshed the page. Actually, let me refresh it.
Let's just get a brand new count.
A brand new count. A couple days ago could have been different.
Yeah, I just refreshed it, and it has 1,900 likes, thumbs up. However, thumbs down has 5,400.
It is only gained.
The people are speaking. They're doing it.
Since I brought this up to you, Tony, it has literally only gained 200 likes. 300 likes, but over 1,000 dislikes, and that was yesterday.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God, 5.4. It was only 4.6 the other day.
Correct, and it was but that was in only 24 hours, right?
Yeah, 24 hours. Yeah.
So now has 5,400 thumbs down.
You can't make that up. It's right there. It's live.
Yeah. So if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what. So
what will, man?
Yeah. So hey guys, I don't want to extend this a lot. I think we're a little bit an hour or a little bit more.
I'll say one thing. You want to talk about facts, okay? Now this is me saying this. This is bad. See, this guy right here. If Acura, and this is a big one, okay? If Acura redoes this car and they truly, truly build it like they say they're going to do it, and it is spec'd like an actual Integra. So you're talking to a guy that built a DC2, okay? And I'll find you pictures because I wasn't famous for that one. But then I was world renowned known for my DC5, okay? I had several sponsors. I made magazines. I even got to go on a TV show and build a car.
I remember.
Okay, that was a lot of fun. I've met so many great people across the world. I've bought parts from people all over the world. This is me saying that if Acura actually comes out with an Integra, I will be there at the door and I will buy one.
There you go.
But I want a two-door, and it's got to have the heritage of an Integra. I want a real Integra. I want something that's going to make me feel like I'm in a DC2 or a DC5, but I'm in the year 2022 or 2023, whenever that comes out. So I want all the new modern bull crap that you're going to put in there for technology, but I want to feel like I'm still in an actual Integra. And that's coming from, and I've driven DAs. I had friends with DAs. I've driven them all. I love them all. I'm an Integra guy. So I will get one. And that's me saying it right here. Everyone can hear it. I will be there, buy it, and I'm going to mod it. But it's got to be an actual Integra. This is not an Integra. You would have to start all over. And I know that's not going to happen, but I'll tell you what, I'm ready out 100% if this is what you're going to release. No matter what spoiler or lift kit you put on it.
For my closing statements, for my closing statements here, Acura, if you ever watch this, if you ever see this, then please take a page out of Nissan's book, and that hurts. I know it hurts, but look at the Z. Oh. Okay, look at the Z.
And Nissan said they're excited for people to mod.
100%. They're giving you a turnkey ready modifiable vehicle. Please do it for the people. The numbers don't lie. You know, you see the reviews. You know, we're just 3 guys on the screen right now, but there's a lot more people than just us. So if you can do it, do it.
It's that guy from TikTok. That's what you gave us.
Right. You know, take a page from Nissan for the Z, because that right there, I'd be knocking on that door first at this point if it doesn't change. So, but again, I'm just one person, you know.
Yeah. So am I. Just one person.
There's almost 6,000 of people that have YouTube account that didn't like it. So
yeah.
All right, guys. Hey, I really appreciate you guys for being here with me. I know that was the last minute thing. I usually, again, this is my first podcast, and let's see how it goes. Let's see how people respond. Let's see, write in the comments what you think. Did you agree with us? And why? Or if you don't agree with us, we would like to see, you know, your point of view. We probably wrong or not seeing the big picture. So leave us comments, leave us facts. I'm gonna be reading them, and let's see what happens. I mean, if the podcast move, you know, and gets view, what do you guys think? We might do a second one?
Let's pick another car.
Yeah,
or if Acura release more information,
we can talk about it together.
More information. Let's do it again. We'll totally restart. And if I have to apologize, I will apologize. But I highly doubt they're going to meet my needs. But I'm saying I would. I'm a big man.
All right.
Not by height. I'm short. I'm like 5'6". So.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. If you want to support the channel, you can leave us a like, comment, or share the video. And even better, if you subscribe and you press the bell button so you won't miss any of the notifications. This is all for today's episode. Until the next one.